Hello, good afternoon, parents and our learners of the Green Hill School. I am Ampofi Almenu, and welcome to the second day of coding. Today, we are going to make a game called Ghostbusters. But before we make this game, let's learn some very key words we will meet along. Let's talk about loops. The last time in class, we learned that loop means repetition. Today, we are going to make use of loops. We also talk about operators. We'll talk about events. We'll talk about control. We also talk about sound and variables. Let's get started. Let's begin. Okay. All right. Okay. First of all, let's delete their cat sprites. Then we choose a sprite. We are going to choose the ghost sprite. You can, yes, you are going to choose that one. Then we change the backdrop. As I told you the last time, the backdrop to has also been grouped. I'll choose outdoors and choose something. Yeah, no, I'll choose fantasy. So let me choose fantasy and I'll choose the woods. That's where I want the ghost to be. After choosing your ghosts and your backdrop, let's get to work. Now, I told you the last time that whenever you want to start your game, you always go to events and choose when green flag click. So I've chosen when green flag click. The when green flag click will give instructions to the green flag here. And you know that the green stands for go or something to begin, as we learn in the traffic light rhyme. So after this, we will make use of a loop. So far, we've learned the forever loop. And we can find the loop at control. So I'll click on control and choose the forever loop. When I select the forever loop, what should be repeating? So this is what we are going to do. We will go to looks and find hide because I want the ghost to hide. So let me do, and I'll click the green flag. You see that the ghost will hide. The ghost won't come back. So how are we going to solve this problem? We have to go to control so that the ghost will be hiding, will disappear and appear every 1 second. For the ghost to appear, we go back to the looks and find show. You just scroll down, you find show. And when you click on show, the ghost will reappear. But it's not appearing as fast as we want. So you need to time it again and choose wait 1 second. So now every second, our ghost appears and disappears, but it's appearing and disappearing at the same position. It's appearing and disappearing at the same position. This brings us to, for us to learn this one, we are going to learn the X and the Y axis. Or the Y and the, or the horizontal and the vertical line. In maths, the horizontal line can also be called the x-axis. The vertical line can also be called the y-axis. So, when it's going to the right, it means you are gaining more. So, it will be positive. When it's going to the left, it means you are losing. So, it becomes negative. For the y, when it's coming down, it means you are losing. So, it's negative. When it's going up, it means you are getting more. So, it's positive. So, the x and y are also called the horizontal and the vertical lines. So to find the x and the y, you have to go to motion. When you go to motion, you choose go to x and y. Now, you can see that x is 44, y is 35. If I change it, you can see it still has the same position. Let me try and change. Okay. You see it's still there. But we are going to change it in such a way that the ghosts will appear at different positions. It appearing at different positions, that's what we call random. For example, when you are given random numbers, let's say from 0 to 10, and you are being asked to choose a random number, what will you choose? Or what will you say? 5, that's correct. 6, any number between 0 and 10 is correct. So let's go to operators and choose pick random. We will put 1 inside the X and we put 1 inside the Y so that the ghost can appear at different positions. So I'll make it negative 150 to 150. And the Y2, I'll do the same, negative 150 to 150. Okay, now you can see that our ghost is appearing at different positions. So let's make our game much more interesting. I want it to be in such a way that whenever we click on the ghost, it should disappear. We go to events, and this will introduce us to another event block. That is the when this sprite click. So whenever I click on when this sprite click, it should hide. So I want it to hide whenever this sprite is being clicked. So Let me time it. Have you seen when I click it, it went hidden. You can't see it until it appears. Okay. For our game to be more interesting, let us create a variable. The last time we were learning, I taught you that variables stand for is from the word vary, which means you can make changes to the the one that is representing the variable. Variables that happen in our everyday lives can be day, can be temperature, can be the wind, can be the height, or even weight. All these change over time, and they are all variables. So, with our game, we are going to create a variable called score. To create a variable, you click on the block called variable, and you click on make a variable. Then you click on score. After that, you click on OK. Okay. So now, since we've created our variable, let's get back to work. So when choose the when green flag click, we will set score to 0. We want it to be in such a way that whenever we start our game, the score should be at 0. So I'll set score to 0. So now you can see that the score is being set to 0. After this, we will make changes. I want whenever you click the ghost, it should change by 1. So you change this one, make a variable to score so that it will change by +1. Okay, now let's see whether it will work. Okay, now let me try and click on the ghost and see what will happen. Let me time the ghost. Okay, so you see the score is changing. You can see the score changing by 1. If you want it to change by 5, by 2, you see it will change by 2. So now from 4 is at 6. Let's see, when we click the green flag, what will happen? It will be reset back to 0. Okay, now we want to time our game so that it will start from 10, or you need to play the game within 30 seconds. So what do you think we have to do again? Okay, you have to make another variable, and we will name this variable timer. So I've made another variable called timer. So I'll go back to events, drag and drop when green flag click. Then go back to my variables and set my timer to 30 seconds, which means the player has to make this game within 30 seconds. Then it will repeat until. So we know that repeat is a loop. So it will repeat until what happens? The game is equal to 0. This introduces us to another operator known as the equal sign. So we will let it repeat until it's 0. Then what will repeat until it's 0? The time or the timer. So you go to variable and drag and drop the timer. So whenever the timer is at 0, the game should stop. So let's go to control and choose wait 1 second. Then the time would change by -1. We will make it in such a way that whenever we are playing our game, it should change by -1. That's the time. So that it will deduct -1 from our work. So it will deduct -1 from our work. So when we finish, we want the game to stop. That is stop all. Then, so whenever the timer gets to 0, the game should stop. Okay. Now we've finished the game. I'm challenging you to add more spice for your game to be interesting. Thank you. We will meet on Monday. Bye-bye.